determination and getting shit done. Today, my husband, I always knew that he was a determined person. I always knew that he doesn't really he's not scared of failing at all. Like, as far as he's concerned, like, you know, he'll give everything a go. And like, if he fails, he fails. Like, what's the big deal? Like, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to implode on top of you. But he'll give everything a shot. And he's not scared about doing new things. You know, I mean, obviously, like, you know, he's human, but like, generally he's not. And he's an athlete. Like, he's a tennis player and a soccer player, football player, whatever you want to call it. Here we call it football. And, you know, in that sense, he's just a beast, like, and he's brilliant at what he does. But when it comes to riding a bike, it's a totally new experience for him. Like, he has not ridden a bike since he was maybe like 10, 13 at the very most. So when Dan rides a bike, like, most of us ride a bike like this, whereas Dan rides a bike, his legs are like that. And he's so scared of falling off, and he's just so new to the whole thing. But at the same time, he doesn't care. Like, he's like determined, like, that he's gonna do this, and he's gonna figure out how to cycle a fucking bike. And he was just so funny today. Like, he recorded his what he did on Strava. Like, he recorded what he did and put it on Strava, and it was like 5 kilometers, and I think he was going like 8 kilometers an hour. But like, you know, it was his first bike ride. Genuinely, it's his first bike ride. This is the first time he's gone on a bike ride since he was like a child or a young teenager. And he was so proud of it, because he knew that this was like, what was he basing it on? Dan does not compare himself with me. He's not comparing himself with anybody else. He's comparing himself with himself. And as far as he's concerned, yesterday he did not cycle a bike. Today he cycles a bike, which is a big jump. It is a big jump. Sorry, it's a bit windy. But I just like, I love that. Like, I love how that's such a great way of thinking. Like, it's things like that, you know, I really admire in that man. And I think that that's such a great way of looking at life, you know, like, you're only in competition with what you did yesterday, you know, or you're only in competition with yourself. Like, you don't need to compare yourself with anybody, you know, like, because it's easy to do that. Like, sometimes I do that on Strava. I'm like looking at other people and like, you know, like how long they went, and obviously, like, you know, it's a good thing to aim for. And it's not that he doesn't have, like, you know, it's not like he's not making goals and he's not thinking, okay, like, a year from now I hope to be doing this. It's not that he's not thinking that way, but at the same time, like, he's putting things into context, like, you know. And it's not like, oh, I'm not even gonna bother because that person, you know, did 40 kilometers and, you know, it just did knock a stir out of them, and, you know, they seem to do 60 kilometers every second day, you know, and then I'm not even gonna bother. No, he's like, I'm gonna do 5 kilometers and I'm gonna make it worth it. And yeah, that's brilliant. That's the best way of looking at life. So that's my message for today. I'm gonna go get back on my bike, and I'll see you next time. Carb the fuck up.